Kia ora and welcome to Constellations and All That. I'm your host, Tracy Cartwright, and together we will be exploring the world of family constellations with facilitators and clients from around the world, looking at different perspectives and experiences in the work, having a cup of tea and just chatting with some friends around their experiences in constellations. We'd love for you to join us. I hope that you enjoy this series as much as I have loved making it. Kia ora everyone, welcome to Constellations and All That. Today I'm excited to have a special guest on my show all the way from Vietnam. And welcome Ngan.
Hi everyone, hi Tracy. It's my pleasure to be here with Tracy today. I am Ngan Do, a Vietnamese, born in Vietnam and also currently based in Ho Chi Minh City, because Saigon. And I've been with constellation work for 10 years, and I'm very much enjoying the process and journey of that. The first time I encountered the Family Constellations in 2014 in the 3-day workshop in Malaysia. And since then, I just busted in so many questions that finally I found the hints in the constellation work. So therefore, I took 1 year of training to constellations, and I took it as a hobby for the last kind of 7 years, because I was with another energy healing modality full time. But due to one of the live events, one of the biggest happened to me in the last year. So I completely came back to constellation work and, fully dedicate myself to 2 modalities at the same time. So for now, I am here. And like every day, reading, practicing question and answers, and like life is just very cherishing, very joyful for me at the moment. So thanks again for Tracy for inviting me.
You're
I'm
welcome.
looking forward.
So what country did you train in? So you said you spent a year training. Was it in Vietnam or Malaysia?
That was initially in Malaysia, Selangor. And I was, my certification was issued by one of the institute in Germany.
Very cool. Yeah. So for the viewers and the listeners, Nang and I met in January this year in person in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City. She came near to where I was staying so that we could meet in person. I'd gone to Vietnam for a family holiday, and somewhere along the trail of different things, I had been made aware of Ngan, and so I reached out and said, hey, I'm going to be in Ho Chi Minh City. What's the chances we can meet? And you came along, and yeah, we had a lovely hour or so together, just chatting and connecting, and it would have been really nice to have more time, but there was so much going on. Yeah, it was a fascinating place that we went to, and the conversations just really, really flowed. So I thought, oh, it'll be interesting to have you on my podcast and yeah, share a little bit from a different perspective as well. So
yes,
yeah.
I'm ready.
So I'll start with this question for you. When you meet someone for the first time and they ask you what you're doing and you're explaining family constellations to them, how do you explain it? What is your elevator pitch or your explanation?
Take it very simple, like family systemic constellations. For me, is very mental process that everyone can take a look at their own pictures in the bigger triangle, bigger perspective, by exploring the underlying hidden dynamics which occur repeatedly into their life, work, and also organization. And from that, the benefits of the family systemic counseling was so clear for them that giving them a chance to go beyond what they have known. And of course, this is the outcome that I very often got from the client, that they go be what they got is over expectation. So I think that that's very clear from the reviews, from the testimonies, and yes, very simple, Keywords is hidden dynamics or underlying dynamics or patterns or issues. So I mentioned some issues like family, relationship, health, money,
Yeah.
also organizational issues. So in Vietnam, since I brought it in, I told myself like family is just one part of the picture. So I want to include the business, the corporate organizations. So I work in the two different stakeholders. So I want
Wow.
to make people benefit from wherever context they are.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that in Vietnam. How have the locals, because ancestral devotion is something that's very big anyway in Vietnam, whereas in the Western world we had moved away from that, but then there are many of us that are moving back to it. I guess so. How has it been received for the Vietnamese? Because I know you work with a lot of expats as well, but yeah, for the locals, they get it straight away because of the ancestral context of it?
Actually, not really, or I haven't finished my observation process yet. How
Mm.
so far, what intrigued them is curiosity of the name of the practice. And I just couldn't just bring them about the ancestral because this is already overwhelming all around the country. Every Tet, every Lunar New Year holidays, and they have to come back the family, have big meals and big,
Mm.
preparation for the rituals and welcome to the ancestors coming back and enjoy the holiday together with them. So it's like happening every year. So I don't want to bombard them with the new methodologies with the old practice. So I was thinking a bit of it, but I just naturally bring in the grandparents, parents out of love, out of the very common sense of how you look at love by hugging, by friendly seeing each other, by being connected. So I make it very simple for the locals. No more ancestrals in the first place. But of course, everything is like underlined. So only me
Yeah.
know, but I don't want to. I always stay here for the ancestors. We must work with ancestors, and everybody run away. Yeah,
But the
too
but the
too
expats
close, too close to be the distance. Yeah,
but the expats they dive into that a little bit more.
they're very open for the constellation. Many of them in Vietnam, they have heard about it, but they haven't experienced it. Ancestrals, of course, they have different stories. Like I decided to leave my country for some reasons, and of course, there's something going on with the nuclear and extended families. And yes, we have worked for some cases with the ancestrals and the bonding between them and the family. And yeah, everyone have kind of untold stories, and
Mm.
we just open up during the session. But they feel more or less safer when doing constellation outside their home country. Yeah,
Yeah.
for receiving help or receiving information, which is very lovely. Yeah.
We have a lot of I guess expats here from different countries as well. So because so many other countries have heard of family constellations that I get quite a variety of people coming along. Yeah.
How's your New Zealand
How's it in New Zealand?
in terms of your question?
So in New Zealand, it's very well aligned with Maori, with their worldview, and I do quite a bit of work at different maraes and with different groups. And there are a number of other facilitators doing that as well.
I'll tell you the
Mm.
story when the first time I was in the constellations. Of course, I didn't understand any shit. Okay, so it's like everything, even the training. I was the youngest among like 16, 17 of ladies and gentlemen. It was very fun when you were the youngest and you was so much innocent. When you heard the first time, you heard how the trainer told you, okay, you can do this A, B, C, D. And I was thinking, wow, the process was so simple. Oh, is it all? And everybody just laughed at me. And they were thinking, how could I think so simply? Because it's going to be very, very complicated because you have to deal with the issues, you have to deal with client, but I didn't see anything of what they seen. So I took myself with full of curiosity, full of innocence, and going to the field, and I just make it as the way I see. Sometimes this is how it works, you know. You put a lot of information and you just drown into it. But for me, I start with nothing, but I come out with something.
Yeah, beautiful.
And sometimes it come out with nothing as well, but I didn't have any expectation from my work. So I really, yeah, I feel myself sometimes silly, but yeah, that this is how I grown up from the bottom.
Beautiful. Have you had, I guess, well, I'm guessing here, and then one of my rules is not to make assumptions, and here I go making one. Do you get a lot of people coming in that are connected still to the trauma of war?
Not directly themselves, but I would say my parent generations is are the one who directly get into the war, and also my the grandparents. But most of my clients are around 30, 40, and they were born after the war finished.
Would some of them not have the residue of the war?
So
Sometimes sometimes I have clients here that are entangled with their grandfather's pain from the war, or they might be having suicidal tendencies, and it comes through that it's connected to the guilt of surviving.
mm, I
Yeah.
got it. I got Actually, even though I work with the later generation, however, I saw how much impact heavily, towards them in terms of their behavior, the way of thinking, the way of thinking of how they have to be successful in their life, and self expectations.
Yeah.
Also, the result from the war, like you're going to be starving if you're not working hard. Or another case is like I am the I'm the victim, also the case. And also I have to working is the only thing that makes me happy, because without working I could not get love from my parents. That's the case, yeah. So a lot of things, but people don't link themselves with the war. They don't have any clear image of the war, but they are the result from what the
Yeah.
war is the war produced. Yeah, but I'm glad that they realize what they are struggling with. This is the first start of healing journey, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
You shared with me earlier that you're interested in constellations in business, and you've started practicing that?
Yes, yes, and I find it's quite, I say, quite similar when we look beyond the principles, the framework, and we just keep the very first principles, and we start applying in different contexts, and we see the world has been functioned just the same way, right?
Well, it's a system, isn't it? So it's the
Yeah, and I
framework.
find the business people, they just need different language from the constellation work. They don't believe in the soul, they don't believe the movement, but we use another way to explain them, and we just focus on the result oriented approach. And the issue from the business, what they are, you know figuring out every day, and yeah, quite practical, but also very, very great. I don't know what to express myself, but I feeling like, okay, even though I don't have full experience of the business, but I start from now, and then until I just building up, and every single case give me the huge inspiration of digging down of the issues and asking myself, and internal process is always there. So I don't dare to start. So I just go for it. So I'm now taking note of the organizational issues using the constellation techniques to solve the problems. So I just documented it, and one day I can just take a look at it. Before I didn't think about it, but right now I think, okay, I should do, because there's so many cases no way I could remember all of them.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Is there anything that you would be able to share that was an example, obviously without giving away anyone's information? It's something that you've seen that has been impacted greatly by having a constellation in a business setting.
Okay, for the business, let's say for organizational issues. So once I have the guy came up determined, wanted to sit in the hot seat, and he was bringing in the issues of the organizational issues, which he was struggling. He was practicing the same way of work for the last 17 years, and it's a time to grow, but he didn't know how to grow, where to go, which direction. And it's like breaking moment, a sink, or you know you have to swim or you have to
Yeah, that take that leap.
finished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he brought in the issue, and then I remember that the constellation session was very interesting, the way, like he we all thought that it's not gonna work, it's not gonna, family constellations didn't help you. I was about to refuse to work with him, and he kept sitting there and convinced me, please work with me.
Prostitute.
I really have some burning issues inside. And then after 10 minutes we decided, okay, we do it. And we initially thought of the money issues. Money brought in, nothing moved. And then, of course, there would be another direction, right? And then we brought in the planning,
Planning
okay,
of the
and
business.
the
Yeah.
team members. And then we start to see the movements. He never ever thought of how much important it was with the planning. He just ignored it totally since then. And now there's investors came as a representative, and investor has a connection with the planning. And here we go. Investor said, I'm not going to invest in you without the planning. You need to be very well planned. And he told everybody, I'm not the guy who for planning. I'm just go for action. So then conversations, understanding, and then he realized something, that I'm going back talking to the team and establishing the planning, and then someone will take care for the execution, but he owns the vision and the mission. And later on he opened his enterprise and registered, and next month he came back to support the workshop event, and he gave me the name card with a big smile, and he said everything was great, and he did that, and I would say, okay. We had the short interview with him, and he kept talking about what he's doing. I feel
Yeah.
okay. Let everybody go back to the section now because we haven't started yet. So I see he was very excited for the new journey. And one of the things is for the so-called young Vietnamese, right? They're very much into action. When they see something moved and transform inside them, they just bang, they do it, and without any hesitation, to see how it emerged and came back and tell me what transformed them. So I guess homework is good for them, but yeah, I didn't tell him what to do. He just manifested himself to do that.
Yeah, so basically the field was showing him where his block was because he wasn't planning.
He ignored, and he was thinking, um, as long as I have the big heart and I am into action, everything is fine. But this is the old story in the last 70 years. Things change now. Investors come and they require something else bigger than what he has been doing. Apart from trust and interest, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fantastic. And what about for you? If you feel to share, is there anything that Constellations has maybe had an impact on you, has helped you in any way, or you've seen the effects of something that you've witnessed and it's been, that's for me as well, something you've represented in?
Of course. Yeah, the reason why I was going back full time with the constellation was the live event happened to me last year. I lost my former husband suddenly. At that time, I suddenly thought about the constellation. I decided to use it to help myself. So I was in the role of both facilitator and the hot seat person. I found it so much powerful to be reconnected to the soul and to have the real conversation, even though I lost him completely. And that moment really helped me to accept the loss. And before I got panic attack during the crisis, and after doing the constellation, everything just getting back to normal, like the numbness and appetite loss and everything about a panic attack start to be regulated. And I feel very much thankful for that moment. One of the ladies who's Thai, I was doing in Krabi, and she was so intrigued by the process. She was a part of the participant, and she decided to invite me to conduct the workshop in Bangkok. So we have done a number of events in Bangkok because of the first Krabi session I did for myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Without that,
very
I'm not
potent
sure.
that you were able to do that during that time now, because I know that you shared with me when I met you that what had happened
Yes,
and it was unexpected and tragic the way the events happened. And so I honor you that and acknowledge that that took a lot for you to do that.
I didn't actually not. I didn't take a lot of effort. Find myself. I had nothing, just the constellation. Then I just used it. I had no choice at that moment. And I
Mm.
want to find out what's going on, what happened to him, why he left us so suddenly. There's a lot of question. Only constellation session gave me the hints of. Yeah, I just went for it, literally.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah,
And now
thank
you're
you.
supporting many others too.
Yes, that also a part of my healing journey too.
Mm.
It's just like constellation work. It chose me, not another way around. So okay. I'm doing thing. Yeah,
And do you
yeah.
see in your own family system, do you see the shifts like with your parents? I don't know if you have any siblings.
I do. I have one sibling, actually two, but one is around. In the past 10 years, even though I was practicing constellation work as my hobby, but I'm constantly applying the key concept of belonging, order of love, hierarchy, etc., into my family system, into my life. And I find it, the first 1 year of training, I was totally into working on myself. And I see a lot of patterns, entanglements. And of course, I work for resolutions and coming out from the 1 year, I was more or less clear the past, and then going on with the new the new shit of the present moment and the future and onward. And yes, since I know the constellation, I start feeling like I want to have baby because I believe that I'm able to make the new way of life out of it. I no longer continue the same pattern that I'm aware of. Yeah, so the new living come with a new pattern, come with the new way of life, which is beautiful. Before I didn't have such a strong urge to such a wish, but right now it's different. The second thing is my parents are very much like they raised me like how they was raised, like in the
Traditional.
military, very strict, very disciplined. But after I knew it and I kind of accept and I kind of see how they change according to my change as well. They really let me free from whatever they want. So I'm so blessed that I can feel full of freedom when I'm around them and very much into myself, which I feel so much appreciated that. And now, yeah, no way that even my parents couldn't change me. How can other people can interfere my boundaries? So I see the boundary is set. That also very helpful when I work with the clients one-on-one or the big group. I do not have the burden or the interference from outside to my boundary. When I work with them, it's not helping, but it's working with, that. So I go home, I have a sleep, the issue still belong to them. And the transformation still in their own settle, in their own world. They are the ownership, isn't it? The owner of the issue.
Yeah.
How about you? The
Oh
same
yeah,
question.
I've seen quite a lot of transformation in my family system. I had a really big one. Really early on, I saw after doing a constellation, I saw the shifts very quickly in my siblings. There was a big energetic shift when because we were all out of alignment because there were siblings that were missing that were not given a place. And once they were given a place, everything shifted in the dynamics in my family. And from that also I saw a shift with my daughters and their relationships. And then I witnessed some things happen with my dad, more so with my dad than with my mum and his family system and his connection to his siblings as well. So yeah, that's one that really stands out for me. But when so my mother lived with us for a long time
Mm.
and she's passed on now, she's transitioned. But when she was here in the house and I had done a constellation, there were often times when, as I was assimilating things or integrating things,
Mm.
we just didn't, we just never seemed to meet each other in the house. We have quite a big house, but it's not that
Right.
big. And then when we did get to meet, when we did get to see each other again, there was such a different energy. So yeah, I've noticed over the years, my own softening
Mm.
and the insights that come that allow for old story to drop away
Beautiful.
and old patterns here. Have you got a favorite facilitator, or maybe there's more than one that you have seen or that you would like to see?
I haven't found the favorite one. I just recently in the last few weeks I had a strong calling to have the teacher or the mentor for this work. I haven't found yet. I heard about Stephen Hauser.
Yeah.
I could love to see him, but this time in Bangkok, I could make the trip. I think maybe next time when he come back to Asia, so I can see him. I'm not
He's
sure if
very
he's
good.
the one. Yeah, it could be great if you can introduce me some of the people. Yeah, I
There's
heard
a
of.
there's a big
Yes.
event happening in Mexico in October where there's going
Okay.
to be quite a few facilitators from around the globe
Uh,
going to it.
will you come?
Yeah. Angwin St. Just, she is a trauma specialist, a traumaologist, she calls herself, and she worked very deeply alongside Bert for a number of years. And in Gala Rodel, she's either from Mexico or Colombia, one of them. She's a spicy little lady. And what else? I'm just thinking of the Mexico gathering this is at the moment. Barry Croft,
You're
he's from the
looking
United
forward.
States. Yeah. And Francesca Mason Boring, she's from America as well. Very cool. She does a lot of nature constellations, working with with nature and energies and all that.
Cool. So because your podcast is now streaming around the globe, I make a wish that one day the ISCA will make one of the similar event in Asia. So everybody can
Yeah.
enjoy,
You never know. We put it into the
right?
field.
So if you come this time, please, please
Absolutely.
plant the seed.
Yeah. How many family constellation facilitators are there in Vietnam? Are there many? Or is
Not
it
many.
very new?
As long as I know, it's like less than five.
Wow.
Yeah. And other people, they are combining or they work. They are they're learning different modalities. A part of constellation. So I'm not sure they are like full-time practitioners,
Yeah.
right? And other they don't have the social media, or I don't know them. So far it's not very plenty.
Yeah, in New Zealand it was quite small. It's starting to grow. There have been a few different teachers come and go too, so more and more people are learning. I'm teaching now myself. I'm into my 4th year of teaching, so there's quite a few students coming through me, and then there's Joe down in the Bay of Plenty, and Maya in the South Island, and Erin was in the Bay of Plenty as well. So there's quite a few coming through. It's growing, and then we have a lot of South Americans. I suppose, yeah, but we'll be that continent through there. So there's a lot of them that come through that have trained overseas, maybe from Germany or in like Brazil, places like that. So they're coming into the country.
Tracy, tell me how's your experience with training?
Training people.
How do you enjoy it?
I love it. So
Yes.
when I train people, so I'm also a drum doula. So I teach people how to make a drum, right? So a drum that you would use. And so it's become part of when you train with me, you also make a drum. Whether you use it in the field or not, to move energy is entirely up to you. But the idea is that the drum is a support to help to clear your own energy and to help as a resource for you, whether you use it in your constellations or not. In my first lot of trainees, we made our drum halfway through the training, and by then I'd already helped. We'd birthed probably at least 500 drums over the last
Wow.
10 years of different things with different people, myself and another person. And that might be a slight exaggeration, maybe close to that. Anyway, but when I did my first training, what I discovered was that after we were on the 3rd month of training and we made the drums, and I recognized that as they were birthing the drums, a lot of things were coming up for them because it's quite an emotional and an intense experience birthing a drum, because it is like birthing a baby. You go through all these different layers of the process, and so there was some that were struggling with this is not good enough, and oh, I'm not doing it tight enough, or I'm doing it wrong. And those were some things that I noticed in the pattern of that person as they were doing the training. And then another one who just wanted to throw in the towel, just like, oh, I give up. I'm can't do this. It's too much. And that was for that person, they were finding life quite overwhelming as well. So I thought, okay. So the drum is showing me where people need the resourcing. So now when they train with me, we make the drum on the first weekend. First, we do a half day on the Friday, we do a full day on the Saturday, and the Saturday is dedicated to the drum making. And from there, I'm observing as well as teaching them how to make a drum, but observing the process and how it is for them. So that has made it easier for me in the way that I know, yeah, it's given me, the field has shown me another way of being able to resource people because of, in the training, the more people work on their own issues, their own blockages and blind spots, the more clearer they will be to be a facilitator, actually. So, yeah, so that's a really good resource. And I'm loving it. Every year that I've just learned so much from the different groups that come in, the different people, and I've had some doctors come through and train with me, and yeah, a variety of beautiful souls who are already doing a lot of great work in the world anyway, and they're adding this toolkit to this tool to their toolbox. And yeah,
Excellent, excellent. I'm curious. May I ask another question?
yeah.
Have you observed the difference when you conducted the constellation session with the drum and without the drum? Did you find any challenge doing constellation work without the drum? And let's say the tune boxes, for example, my side, since I know that constellation work cannot stand alone, I have a bit warm up exercises at the beginning, like breath work or movement exercises or emotional connection exercises or even yoga or even a lot of things to open people up
Mhm.
and move them from thinking to feeling, and they definitely couldn't do it themselves, and I help them a bit, and I also work with other practitioners in Vietnam, and I would so well, even though I even had own session, right? But working with them is just like so smooth after, everybody going to the session, everything just flow. How about your side?
So sometimes I constellate, like if I'm doing a whole workshop, I will use the drum at some point. And
Yes.
sometimes in the session, I can feel that there is a blockage of energy. So I will just drum and walk around the space. And then sometimes it's just like something moves in them. There's a release of energy that can then something. I do exercises as well. I do a lot of different combinations of exercises, and I will often drum during those because the somatic experience of the drum, the
Yes.
sound, the vibration, and all of that allows, the brain can drop in as you can listen to the drum rather than trying to be in the mind. So, yeah, I have this one that I call Yes to Life, and it's three people. So you have yourself, you have your mother and your father, and it's an experience that takes you through a process of receiving the life force that comes from your parents. And I drum the whole way through that. And then we do 3 rounds of it because everybody gets to have a chance to have that experience. So that you're receiving the life force that comes through your family system. And I talk through the whole process. And then I get you to turn around and we say some words to the parents. And then you can step in as your adult self and take them in, like rather than when you're in the front and they're behind you, you're in the space of I'm the little one, you're the big one. You turn around, you're still the little one, but you're also in your adult self. So you're going in and you're saying yes to this. Yeah. And then once we go through that part of the process, then I get them to step back again, a few more words, and then I invite them to turn around and to feel their parents behind them like a launch pad. I'm still drumming, and then I build it up until it gets to the tempo gets quite fast, and then I invite them to step forward and really take it all in. Um, yeah, I think the drum is such an important tool for me, yeah, in that space. And I'll use it in the breaks, clear the room. Do I notice a difference? I think sometimes I notice that if I haven't, for whatever reason, I haven't drummed, then I can be quite tired afterwards. I think the drumming clears that energetic residue away quite quickly.
Yeah. I'm sure this is very powerful and very stimulating whenever you use the drum. And so you use the drum during the session as well. Is it
Sometimes, yeah. So drumming when I'm doing the exercises, but the exercises are kind of like constellations in themselves, but it's like a group, everyone's doing it at the same time. And then sometimes in someone's constellation, I may be drumming if I'm called to drum for them while they're doing their constellation. But it'll only be for like a small part of it, not for the whole time.
Right. Wow. That is interesting.
And I
would
also
love.
use my voice as well.
Yeah.
So for a long time, tone and sound wanted to come through me, and I hadn't seen anyone do that. So I was like, it's not happening. And I was very resistant to the whole concept of it.
How would you use your voice and tone to facilitate the session?
Yes, but I use it in like a bring through. So I see sound, I see the frequency that is needed. I can't explain to you how I see it. I just see it. And then I just open my mouth and then a sound will come out and it will shift the energy as well.
Wow.
And sometimes it goes for so long and I'm thinking, how on earth am I making this sound? I don't even know how it's happening because I couldn't hold my breath for that long. Like I couldn't, if I wasn't in the field, if I wasn't in the constellation right now, or a sound bath, because I sometimes do sound healing energy work as well. That's when it's all starting to flow through me.
Oh, I would love to join the training of drumming. And yeah, I feel like I'm very much with the oratorio. Yes. Yeah, I was thinking one day I can join the training of you. Yeah, perhaps you come back to Vietnam one day. Yes.
I'm sure I'll be back to Vietnam. We have family there, as you know, so we'll be back.
Yeah, let's think ahead, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
maybe
thing
we
happened,
can
yeah.
do a workshop here together with Tracy and the drum. Would you bring the drum as
I can
well?
bring a drum, yeah. Easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Is a drum a traditional thing in Vietnam? I know that I
Mm.
went to some, yeah.
They have a big drum, and but nowadays it is not very applicable in the daily modern life. I
Mm.
miss that too. I was always resonant with the drumming stuff. Last year I joined the Japanese drum and traditional
Oh, yes.
with the rock
Yeah,
band using
yeah.
all the traditional instruments, including the drum. Oh my God, it was mind blowing.
Where they're all just like moving their arms and doing
That's
things at
right.
the same
That's
time.
right.
Wow, that would have been really, that's
That's
cool.
right. Yes. Everybody moved. Yes.
Yeah.
But for you, like you use a smaller drum, but you use the smaller scale of the group. Can you
Hand.
show me your drum?
So this is my drum. You see this? It's made,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
I see.
it's made from deer skin.
From the deer.
Yeah, let me just change the sound here.
Cannot hear very well. You can make it a bit louder.
It's vibrating a bit at the moment because it's not warm enough, so it's got a bit of a.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, yeah, I can hear the vibration.
So and there's the back of it.
Uh-huh.
It's like a
Wow,
bit wider.
nice. Yeah.
Or we can do that way. It's like a tree. Depends on which way we hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I
if
made.
someone joined the constellation session and asking about the drumming, what is the shortest explanation coming from you?
Ask me about the drumming as in
Yeah, yeah, like why you use the drum, and then you need to quickly answer them and move on with
help to clear the energy.
okay,
Anything that's
okay.
stuck, any blockages that aren't
And what if
moving.
people don't believe in energy? How could you explain that?
I'll get them to stand up and just to feel the vibration of the drum and
Ah,
notice what happens for them in their body
great.
because you can really feel it go through your body. So if you can feel that, then you'll know that, you know, everything is energy. So if they don't believe in it, then they've got some homework to do.
They will feel it themselves.
Yeah,
That's the only way. Yeah.
it's interesting. I think I find that mostly people that come are really interested in energy and are drawn to the work as well. It's occasionally someone brings maybe their partner or their friend along because they really want them to experience it, and that's when, if they're not into or understanding of it, that's when things can get difficult.
Right.
You know, they don't really want to be there. They're only coming along to support someone else, and they're not interested, so that can be quite hard for them. They tend to not sit in the hot seat either, which is absolutely fine. But they can, yeah, have the brakes on, we would say, yeah. So they're stopping movement of energies. What other questions have I got? How are we going? We've done very well. We've gone over an hour already.
I like the drumming part very much.
Well, that was another thing. So coming into the work, seeing other facilitators, going to events where you see other facilitators, you know, working. So they have conferences. We call them intensives or immersions here, either in Australia, and we've started to do them here in New Zealand as well. You get to see other people facilitate. So that means there are things that you see and experience that you may not be doing in your own work. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm not going to do that. That doesn't resonate with me. And then other times it's like, they're using the drum. That's really cool. I could feel that energy move. So yeah, we had some visitors come to New Zealand who used a drum, and that was where I was like, oh. And by then I was already making drums. Yeah.
Right.
I just wasn't using them in my constellations.
That's awesome idea. I
Mm.
never thought of it. Since I met you, I still kept the drumming idea inside me. I haven't made myself yet, but I will. Yeah, so far
And a shaker. Another one. A good
the yes,
handy, just a
the
little
bling
shaker
bling.
with bells or
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you told me when we met. I only use the sound.
Oh, yep.
Also, help people to come back to their parents as, let's say,
Parasympathetic nervous system.
yes, and make them cooling down, yeah, a little bit. And also, I have friend who do the full session of sound healing after the constellation session, which is very beautiful. And I got eurythmy, I got the movement dance technique. I have two different kind of movement practitioners. So I invite them all to join me of each of the sessions, so I see how I can emerge with the technique, I emerge with the activity and also the practitioners. And of course, the drumming is something that I am going to make it.
And it's like, you know, when you're in the field and you're following the energy. So that's what, when you drum, you need to stay out of your head and just go with the energy that's in the field as well. So if we're drumming and we're trying to keep a beat and in a certain rhythm, it's not flowing with it. You've got to just kind of just let the field guide the drum.
Question: do the rhythms make an impact on their own internal process? The rhythms. Do you think the rhythm make the impact, or you just start the drumming?
I generally just kind of start the drumming.
Yeah.
There's another thing that you can do with the drum. I do use that to make the sound of the heartbeat as well.
Aha.
Yeah. So, but if you just move that around,
Yeah.
can you hear that on your end?
Yes. Right.
And it has quite and that's often I'll start that way. Yeah. And then I'll go.
Very cool. Wow, Tracy.
And just that little heartbeat can really have quite a profound effect, you know, especially if you're doing something with your mum and dad. and you've got that heartbeat going in and you're in the moment. Like that exercise I shared with you, but yes to life. And you're with your parents in that space, or the inner representatives of your unconditional parents in that space, and you hear the heartbeat. It just kind of it drops you into your heart space. And I mean that's what we hear for 9 months, right? You hear our
Mhm.
mother's heartbeat.
I'm amazed by what you're doing, Tracy.
I'm amazed by what you're doing too. I think you're doing an
Oh,
amazing job in Vietnam. Like you say, there are very few people over there doing this work. So you're leading the way, which is awesome. So good.
thank you.
And Ho Chi Minh City is a big place.
Right.
Yeah.
Quite overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are many people, especially the community leaders, they love the constellation work. And I find that so lucky that I realize the value of the work
Mm.
without me telling so much. And yeah, that's cool.
How often would you do a constellation? Do you do it for a day, or is it a weekend, or during the week? When do you run your sessions?
Not regular at the moment, but we have every every month have the mini workshop in the Thursday evening, and I also have the workshop at the weekend, and I also have the organizational session during the weekdays. Yeah, and most of the time reading and
Mm.
living.
And do you do one-on-ones as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very much seeing how I will become when I do the one-on-one. But yes, I'm open for that too. Yeah. And I got the first testimony of the one-on-one session in the last weekend. So
Yeah.
yes, continue.
It's growing, yeah. Really stepping it out there.
Right.
Let me just think. I think we're just about coming to an end here. Is there anything else that the field would like me to
Do
ask?
you have the regular question to end the session?
Not really. I kind of just wait and see what the field wants me to bring in.
Wow, that's also
I
cool.
would ask for contact details. So I know that you've shared some with me and we'll put them in the thread. But for those people who would like to hear it, because some people are audible and would like to hear you say it, how would people find you?
Sure, people can either find me on Facebook, on Ngan Do and Family Systemic Constellation fan page. I can also share with you, and also Instagram Nando dot therapy. It's very simple, and also LinkedIn. But I am starting building up my own website. It's coming,
It's
not
coming.
today. It's coming soon.
It's one of those things, isn't it? When we're busy doing this work, it was, I had a website. It took a while, and I was um in building it all, but there is so much in the administration side of things that hasn't been they would get forgotten because I was so busy doing the work that
Mm,
didn't have that. And then it'd come to me like, I haven't even advertised my workshop because I was so busy. And now I have some support in the back office helping me with that sort of stuff. And it's just made everything so much flow so much
yeah,
easier.
yeah,
So all
that's good
the
that
ideas
someone's
that were
helping
floating
you.
around up here are now being
That's right. Execution is important, right? And I'm happy that you now having a team behind you and yeah, helping you that.
well, it's been beautiful to talk with you. And yeah, I think we'll pause here and look forward to maybe catching up with you again sometime soon. And, who knows when I'm going to get back to Vietnam.
Yes, I could love to hear the date that you will be here, and I try to make something the best out of your journey. Okay? I'm really determined doing that because I imagine how you use the drum. It's just so inspiring for me.
I imagine my style will be very different.
Right. I believe
Just
so. I believe so. Either we make the constellation workshop with the drumming, and we also have another drumming section as well. Oh, wow. I'm just cannot stay still when thinking of Tracy coming for Ho Chi Minh and doing something. And please share some time of your holiday for work. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
I'm really mean that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Head over to Instagram and tell me what's resonated for you with this episode. You'll find me at tracy.cartwright. That's Tracy with no E. Cartwright. Or head over to my website, tracycartwright.co.nz, and receive a free audio with the gift from your ancestors. So until next time, be kind to yourself and have fun doing it.